Hey, hello everyone and welcome in a new video. Don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel to not miss the next one. And today this is a new video, a new practical exercise. So the goal today is to discover the exercise, our practical exercise, to practice what? To practice volumes, of course, because we have seen a lot of stuff about volume, and in the same time we will use this practical exercise to reapply all what we have already seen inside services and stuff like that. This practical exercise is based on WordPress, so really well-known application, really useful application when you want just to train about something. It's really important tool, because you have into it like a database, you have some dependencies like a database, you have statical files, and you have a graphical web UI, and you need to access to it, and it's really cool to discover a lot of things for that. So since we have discovered volumes, we will practice that through this WordPress exercise. But today I just want to introduce this exercise and all things important that you need to know to practice this exercise. It's based on WordPress. For WordPress you have the classical and regular Docker Hub image for WordPress. So feel free to go on the Docker Hub and search the official WordPress image. And if you go on the WordPress image page, you will have an image and all stuff that you need to know to download this image, but you will have many information on how works this image. For example, the list of all environment variables that you need to set to connect your WordPress to the MySQL container. What do you have inside the WordPress? Just a quick overview. You have an app page into it. So this is the web server on the front and on the top of our WordPress. So if you already practiced Apache, it's like the same thing, the same idea, but it's inside the container, so you need to pass through the environment variable if you want to set it, to well set it. And aside of it, inside the same container, you have your WordPress, so that means that you have PHP code, of course, and you have some statics into it. And we can imagine that you need to store some statics, and that can be stored into a specific directory on your WordPress. So take care about it. It's just an exercise. So this is not the main goal today is not to create a real and production ready WordPress. The goal is just to practice Kubernetes. So keep it in mind, this stuff in mind. It's really important. If you need to deploy WordPress like in a regular production mode, you need to improve a lot of stuff. Yes, you have statics and all is stored, and the Apache just use the WordPress and the WordPress into this container image, but it's not totally useful for you. Is in the var www html and all is into this directory. And you can mount this directory as a volume if you want to persist the statics. So it's really important to have it in mind. The other things that you need to know, you have environment variable inside and for your WordPress image, and it's important to connect and to set how to connect to your MySQL container. So, of course, just a side of it, and in our Kubernetes cluster, we will have a MySQL container. So you can have a look, like for the WordPress image, you can have a look on the Docker Hub page, and you will have MySQL. You can make a search based on MySQL. You have an official image. And for this official image, you will have, like WordPress, you will have a lot of environment variable to configure your MySQL, for example, to set the default user and password and stuff like that. Into it, I won't go in details, but you have the data, and it's really important to keep it in mind. You have data in /var lib MySQL, and all data is there. And this is where you need to persist your data. If I say persist your data, you need to have in mind right now, this is a volume inside Kubernetes. So really, really important to store what? To store our data files. And that ensures that if we lost the MySQL container, we will keep our data. And the same thing for our WordPress. If we mount the /www.html directory inside a Kubernetes volume, that means that we will keep it if we crash or just restart or upgrade our WordPress container. So we just need to have a look. So yes, just a simple thing to keep in mind. We have our WordPress. Our WordPress is connected to our MySQL database. And on the top of that, our user need to access to the WordPress. We have not enough knowledge right now during this playlist. We have not enough knowledge to create what we named an ingress. We will see that later, but basically, we will use an ingress and a service to access to the WordPress application. In our case, we already we only know the classical services that we have, and we will use Nodeport to access to our WordPress. It's enough just to practice and to make like a reminder on what we have already seen on Kubernetes, on this Kubernetes playlist. If we go in details, so there is a lot of stuff, but it's quite simple. In fact, the purpose is to go to our WordPress. So when I say that, you need to have in mind, I need to create a WordPress service to access to our WordPress, and this is a Nodeport service. Okay, we already said our WordPress need to be persist, so we will have a persistent volume and a storage class. You can use our previous local path provisioner or NFS if you want to persist your volume, meaning that you can use the storage class provided by these tools, and after that you can plug on it a persistent volume claim. That means that if you have a persistent volume claim, you can deploy your WordPress with a dedicated resource named deployment. We already saw that. It's really, really important to have it, and you can keep only one replica on it. But inside this deployment, you will have some settings to configure your environment variable, to use this volume, and to connect to the MySQL. In the same and specific things, you will need to set a secret to store the MySQL secret. So this is the user, this is the password mainly, to mount this secret. So the MySQL password, MySQL secret password dedicated to the WordPress inside the deployment, inside the WordPress deployment. And after that, of course, you need to connect to your MySQL database. And yes, for the persistent volume, you can use, like here, the NFS, like we have already seen it. It's quite easy to do it. You need to have a little NFS server aside of your cluster, but it's really easy to create it. It's just 1 minute, stuff like that, so it's quick. And yes, we need to connect to our MySQL, meaning that you need to access to it. So for that, you can use a service for MySQL service, and you just need to access to your MySQL from the WordPress to the MySQL, meaning just a simple cluster IP service is totally enough, because for security you don't need to access to the MySQL from an external access. In the same thing, you have the secret. I don't see it. No, you will have a secret to set your environment variable dedicated mainly for the user, the password for your MySQL, and you need to create like the same secret you will have here, and you can mount it inside the MySQL deployment. We will use a deployment here, even if it's a stateful application, because it's quite easy for a beginner to understand the things without a stateful set. We will use stateful set later. It's quite easy to use it, but you can use it with a deployment. It's really easy to do it. If you want, you can test stateful set, but meaning if you use a stateful set, you can just make the persistent volume at the same time when you create like the deployment. This is exactly if you merge the deployment and the MySQL. But yes, if you want to follow this diagram, you need to create a MySQL deployment, mount into it or set into it the persistent volume claim dedicated to MySQL. We will use a MySQL storage class as well, and we will mount a persistent volume, and we will be connected to our NFS server. And in fact, that's it for a beginner. It's quite easy to do the entire stuff. With that, we will have a reminder about the service usage and settings. We will use secrets and how to mount it inside the deployment. We have already seen a lot of kind to mount secret inside deployment. So you have 3 or 4 way to set it. Yes, and that's it for today, I think. In the next video, we will see our solution. And yes, it's quite easy. Take your time, just enjoy the moment, and practice. Make some search about the documentation for the WordPress image, MySQL image. And yes, don't hesitate to just go back in this playlist to just have a look on what we have already seen if needed. See you in the next video. Bye bye.